What's up guys, C2113 here, and today we're going to be talking about Squeaker and her backstory. So Squeaker and I go way back. She's almost 11 years old, and that takes me back to 6th grade. So when I was in 6th grade, I had a science teacher named Michael. Now that might seem weird to you, but at my old school, we just went by first names with teachers. So my science teacher was named Michael, my homeroom teacher was named Kathy. That's just how it was. Well, Michael had a class pet, a white ringneck dove by the name of Quiet, a male white ringneck dove. Well, as you can tell with a name like Quiet, he wasn't actually very quiet. He would be cooing and, and making laughing noises and fluttering and that sort of thing all the time. I mean, he wasn't like obnoxiously noisy, but he wasn't quiet. Well, one day somebody discovered a white ringneck dove walking around the front of the school courtyard. And so they ran up and told Michael, hey, there's a dove out in the front. You should take a look. And so he's like, okay, I'll go look. And so he goes out to the front to see what's going on and finds this, sure enough, clearly not a wild animal walking around the front courtyard. So he takes it in and takes it to a vet and decides that, it's healthy and it's all right, and puts it in a cage with Quiet. And I think at this point we already knew it was female, because around this time there was a class sort of vote to vote on a new name for this new bird. And the class settled on the name Eve. So now Quiet and Eve live together in the cage. Well, needless to say, Quiet and Eve got busy, and at some point around, I want to say March, Squeaker was hatched. And Squeaker was the first of 2 birds, and by the end of the year, and we also again had a class vote on Squeaker's name as well, and by the end of the year there were 2 birds in addition to Quiet and Eve. Squeaker and her sibling. I don't remember if we named the other bird, but I just remember Squeaker, because I got to watch Squeaker go from being hatched to being fed to growing up to growing her first feathers. I mean, it's an amazing experience. So by the end of the year, Michael knew he had to adopt out at least one of the hatchlings. There wasn't enough room in the cage for 4 birds. I mean, remember, you have to keep in mind, this cage was initially only intended for Quiet, 1 dove. Basically, he said anyone who wants to adopt Squeaker can put their name in a registry, and then I'll pull from a hat and do a random drawing to see who gets to take Squeaker home. Well, initially I remember there was about 5 people on the list. I don't remember all of their names, but I remember by the last week there was only 2 people on the list. It was me and a kid named Xander. And at one point, it was 2 days away from the drawing, and Xander's parents basically backed out and said he couldn't have the dove at home because it wouldn't work with their family and all that stuff. So at that point, I was ecstatic because I finally realized I got to take Squeaker home. So I remember the day that I took her home and got her settled, and initially we didn't know Squeaker was a female. In fact, we had, as a class, thought that been told that she was a male. And I didn't know until it was about a month or 2 later when she started laying eggs. And then I knew that she was actually female. So that's her story. I know it's strange, but honestly, it's one of the most fascinating stories, and I think that gives us an element of connection, because she grew up in a classroom and I got to watch her grow up. So that's a very unique connection. Now, what's she like as a pet? Well, doves in general are very docile, gentle creatures. I mean, there's a reason why they're the symbol for peace. And you can see that she has no problem with me touching her. She likes to be pet. She likes head pats, I mean, she really likes interaction. And that's the thing with all doves is, number one, they're very easy to hand tame. They don't bite or, peck at you. And in addition, they actually crave this type of attention. A lot of other birds, like parrots, macaws, that sort of thing, they may not want you to touch them. Do you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people think that, Birds just love to be pet and interacted with, but a lot of birds don't actually want you to touch them. They'll want you to be around and, you know, give them food and maybe talk to them every now and then, but they don't necessarily want you to hold them and pet them and that sort of thing. But doves actually crave that level of attention. So if you want a really, really cuddly bird that, you know, you can interact with, that is a huge plus with owning a dove. In addition, the other thing is understanding that owning a dove is a long-term commitment. Unlike a lot of other types of birds, doves can live a long time, up to 25 years. And the oldest recorded dove that I think I know of, it lived to 37 years old. Again, obviously most doves are not going to live that long, but keep that in mind. You're going to be looking at least a 15-year commitment to owning a dove. So that's very important to understand. This is not like a hamster where, oh, you know, if I get bored of it, it only lives 2 years or whatever. This is an important thing because, again, you know, this is going to become a member of your family, and that's something to keep in mind. But in conclusion, she's been a great member of a family, and she is absolutely a great sport about everything. I know that sometimes she doesn't like to cooperate because she gets tired and she wants to go back and sleep because, well, again, doves are not the most active animals in the world, but she's a great sport about being in this video, and I hope you guys have liked learning a little bit about her backstory and what it's like having her as a pet. If you want to see more content, I want you to get subscribed and leave me a comment below because I want to know if you'd be interested in seeing more about Squeaker and learning more about her. And as always, I appreciate everything that all of you, my viewers, do, and all of you guys that watch my videos. I really appreciate the support. So thank you.